bit. Okay, I think it is recording. We're good. We're live. We're live. The vibes are live.
Hello.
Entertain them for a second, Mike.
All right, welcome back to Good Vibes Live. This is episode 69 of 72 for season one. It's an exciting time to be alive. We're still in quarantine. It looks like we're coming out on the other end of quarantine, which is cool. Right now in New York, Liam, welcome back. I don't know what it's expected in Massachusetts to end, but I know in New York, we're saying May 15th. It's looking like our end date. It's May 5th, 10 days out from progression to normal. Obviously it's not going to go right back to normal, but we're going to get closer to normal than now. How about you, Liam? When are you guys expected to come out on the other side of this?
That's the date they're shooting for,
Same.
and probably the date they'll start denying that there's any cases.
True.
Just check it.
Because
Calling it now.
capitalism.
Yeah,
Money is more important than the lives of the citizens.
you think so?
I mean, I don't think so. Capitalism thinks so.
But you said it.
I said it under the guise of being capitalism.
The guys.
Yeah,
I love that word. The guys.
I think it's like, am I being a man gentleman, or is it the disguise?
That's loaded.
Yeah, man.
Do you think?
I am
What do you
man.
think? What do you think?
I think I am a man
Mhm.
disguised as capitalism. I'm a dude playing a dude disguised as capitalism.
That's actual layer.
Yeah,
That's
layers
bars,
to the
man.
shit. That's kind of what we all really are. We are just people playing a part. Like we're playing like, okay, you're the cell phone salesman. You know what I mean? You're not a cell phone salesman, but you play the part of a
Windows
cell phone
salesman.
sales. Whatever you are, whatever you're selling, you're playing that part in the bigger picture of capitalism. Like you're playing a part of capitalism. It's all just a giant movie.
You've been watching the new Rick and Morty?
Dude, yeah, I actually just watched the new episode the other night.
Pretty good.
Was it last night?
2 nights. Time's a flat circle, Mike.
Fair.
Never been more.
Listen, dude, I think I'm finally getting to the bottom of what Rick and Morty even is.
A cartoon.
Exactly.
Fuck.
Meta, dude.
Good Vibes Live, episode 3.
It's episode 3?
Yeah, right. It feels like
You went away. You walked away when I was doing my intro. And
Did you do an intro?
Yeah, you'll hear what episode I said it was when you listen.
I cannot wait. I've listened to the first 2 30 times.
Really?
Yeah, those are all the views on YouTube.
I can't listen to myself speak.
You're very good. It's very good. Enough for me to listen to it 30 times. I stopped listening to the Communist Manifesto to listen to it again and again and again.
You really fucked up when you stopped listening to the Communist Manifesto. That was your first mistake. You should have kept listening to the Communist Manifesto and stopped listening to us spew bullshit.
Do you think I kind of want to shut off the fan?
Your own
in
fan?
My room?
I can't hear it if it's like a audio issue. That's not coming through.
It's more of a personal thing. It kind of sounds like the fan is creeping up on me.
I feel you. My fan's on too.
Are you ever think about that? That like the objects in your room have personal agendas that are hidden?
Every day.
All right, I'll be right back.
All right, back to the Mike Carm Show. Welcome back, everyone. It's just really an honor to be here this week. Most people don't really get it. They don't really get what an honor it is to be recording a podcast. Like, people begged me to do this for years. They said, we need your ideas. We need your opinions specifically on air. A lot of people have opinions, but nobody's opinions are right. And then along comes this Mike Carm guy who's just got the right opinions. And so like for 6-7 years now, people have been begging me to get into the podcast game, saying like, you really are probably the prophet. Like we need these words out to the public, because if you're just saying them to your friends, they're not going to hear it. You need to start a podcast and you need to tell everybody how to live their life. And that's what I'm doing. Welcome back, Liam.
Pleasure to be here, Mike. Thank you for having me on. This is this is big for me. This is a big career up for me, I think.
It's just, I want to give a shout out to the little guys. You know me.
Yeah, you give people opportunities. If it weren't for you, God, I don't know.
It's really what I think I was put here to do. I remember seeing you in our satire class in what was it, college?
Admiration.
And I just looked at that pathetic human being and I said, you know what? Let me say what's up to him. Let me just say hi. Let me make his day. Let me make his day by saying hi. And look at us now.
That's crazy, because what's really insane is, Mike, we actually met 20 separate times before that. Various parties.
Did we ever actually meet before satire?
20 times. Across the, I believe, year and a half we shared at the school at the time.
Dude, what do you mean? I wasn't there for a year and a half before that satire class.
You were up here.
Oh, okay. You were manifesting me.
Mm-hmm.
I feel you.
And that happened 20 times or so. I think we met in satire, but I definitely met you before that. And you're always just like cool and stuff.
Thanks, man.
Anytime, buddy. And and I was like, yo, I think you're great. And you, I think, pretended not to hear me. And then you kept walking.
I do remember that. I actually I never knew you knew. I heard, I thought it was just kind of one of those things we would just,
I had cornered you.
Exactly. I thought it was just something like we would never acknowledge again. Like I was getting my Greek Caesar salad from Wow Cafe.
It was great. Good.
I turned around so I could.
That's what I had that day.
I turned around just so I could fill my cup of water, and I just see a kid staring through my soul, not at me, through my soul. So I'm like, all right, there's something clearly wrong with this kid. And he just like kind of mutters under his breath, like, I think you're great. And I was like, I don't know if he's talking to me or not, but I'm just going to keep walking. And now we know the truth. You were indeed talking to me.
Well, that explains the first time.
The first 23.
Yeah. No, but no, a satire, I do believe, is like when we started to have correspondence, if you will.
I think that might have been one of my first classes at Nichols.
Was it really?
Was that second semester or first semester of that year?
That was second semester of that year, I believe.
Right,
yeah.
Well, then it couldn't have been one of my first, because that was my first year at Nichols.
Is that true?
Yeah, I transferred to Nichols.
Damn.
My college story, Liam, is one that shouldn't be told on the air.
I know that. I know about the gun trafficking. I know about it. You did it. You were like the who's the no, hold on.
You're almost there.
Rick Ross. Freeway with Rick Ross of guns.
Rick Ross. People have compared me to that of a young Rick Ross. Like I get a lot of Pablo Escobar comparisons too, just because of the money I made off of it, not necessarily obviously.
But you took the violence out.
Yeah, see, that was the thing. People thought I was trafficking, like I was giving people guns. No. I was taking their guns and just going as fast as I could on the highway in a car with those guns, and I'd crash the car so the guns couldn't, they wouldn't be able to be used again. It was a peace offering.
Serious question. Very serious.
Okay.
We can feel free to cut this.
No.
Okay. I'm so pro everyone owning their own gun now.
Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Why?
And I think if, like, you get caught slipping going to school afterwards, and, that's, like, there's a little bit on you after all this. What I mean by that is, Mike.
Okay.
I know you are a procurer of firearms. You don't leave your house unless you have 4 of them on you, on your person.
Never catch you sleeping.
That's what we're saying. That should be our new slogan. Whole new vibe on this show.
Whole new fucking vibe.
But I don't know. I saw these protesters in Michigan, right?
Yeah.
Get into like the state house with like guns, and we're just like talking all sorts of shit. And people are dumb as fuck, right? Like that's why bad things happen usually.
I don't think people are dumb. I think people
No, no,
are.
no. Like I mean, it's a scary thing when one guy has a gun, right?
Yeah.
Like there's a level of fear, so everyone's like anxiety and stuff is up, thinking about what could happen.
Yeah.
Now, if you get two people with guns in the same room, and that's never, they're oppositional, that's never really happened. Shit escalates so fast, dude. Someone could
So
sneeze, and suddenly, fucking, we have a massacre on our hands because you can't not fight back as the state representatives. You know,
it seems like there'd be more of an issue than if everybody had a gun.
no,
Is
if
like you
everyone
said.
was on the same page,
You just think it's like evening the playing field?
dude. If we're just pretending like there are people out here without that, you can't
All
just,
right.
you know, that's pretending like there's not an uneven playing field. You know what I mean?
I,
Do you want to
I
play on an uneven playing field? Do you
no,
want to
I
go?
guess I get what you're saying. Like
I know it's a hard case.
people have guns, so therefore, if other people have guns, I should have a gun. Like guns exist, so I might as well have one.
Yes, yeah, yeah,
All
yeah.
right, I get your logic. I disagree, but I get it. Do you
Let's give
really
it
feel this way? Are
like
you this?
another
Are you like
week and a
strongly
half.
into
Let's
guns
give it.
now?
No, dude, I didn't. I had such different opinions on this. Probably like a few. Not even. It was it's a complicated issue.
It is definitely a complicated
It's a
issue, man. As
complicated
most
issue.
as most
I'm not
issues are.
saying whatever, but like our president is like crazy as fuck, and like is gonna be sort of into starting a war if it makes him look good,
So
or
are
if he can at
you
least put blame
inciting
on something else.
a
And he's
revolution?
inciting. No, he's inciting people to like go to their state houses and protest with their fucking legally owned firearms that in a lot of other countries they wouldn't be allowed to own. So now they're like, okay, let's demonstrate it during a pandemic
Yeah.
where that spreads rapidly when there's large groups of people forming, and then they're from all around the state. They go together, they group together, and then they go back to other parts of the state. So now everything's fucked across the state, meaning that they're not going to work for longer and have it be safe. And they're just not seeing that. And I get it because they're probably going through something and I don't understand. But I think that situation is very volatile. And I think it could escalate. And if it does escalate, and if I was there, I'd be so much happier that I had a gun,
All right. I mean, that's fair. You'd be
right?
happier you had a gun in that
It's like condoms. You rather
situation.
have it and not need it than need it and not have it.
I don't believe in condoms.
Facts, though. That's
I
the real
believe they
shit.
exist. It's the same thing. It's
Do you
just like
believe
this.
they
Like I
exist?
know they exist. I know they exist. I'm just not going to use one. It's not for me. I see what you're saying with guns. Like, you could protect yourself, but like, and then it's like the other extreme. Like
You're a
what if
brave
just
man.
so you're for like fuck it, arm everybody. I'm on the other end of the spectrum where I'm like, why don't we just disarm everybody, level the
Because
playing
then the
field that way?
government has
Has guns,
complete.
but dude, the government has drones. I'm not buying this.
Yo,
Like
I'm
we
with
can
you. That is
because
literally something I agree with for sure.
dude,
Yeah.
like if we wanted to rebel again, we don't want to rebel against the government. You know what I mean? If we wanted to, we would have
Okay.
by now. Like I want to, you want to, but the masses aren't doing it. You know what I mean? If we wanted to, we would have done it by now, dude. But yet, but now it's too
I'm
late. It's
tracking
like
steady growth on this podcast.
peaceful
We could
protest.
save the world, Mike.
I want to save the world. I would like that. There's a lot
Peaceful
of.
protest after years of guillotines.
So you are a communist.
I just like to see bad things happen
I like
to
to
good
see
people.
good things. I like to see good things happen to everybody. I don't think
But
there's
what
such
if
thing as bad people.
I just don't think you can have a revolution that's not a revolution worth having unless you can bask it in blood.
Violent revolution, like it's just cyclical. Like it's the oppressed becomes the oppressor. You're gonna use this violence to kill your oppressor, and then like you now have the power, and like just in turn, someone's gonna become oppressed again because you're like it's like the kid who is beaten is likely to grow up to be a person who beats his own kids. So like if you just eliminate the violence in the revolution, like it could lead to a more peaceful way of living, if that makes sense.
That's never happened and will never happen because people don't like to give up power.
Yeah, bro. I mean, it's never happened yet. Like, it hasn't happened yet because we've been doing the same cycle of like feudalism and like class systems, and then like a violent revolution against the class above you, and then you become the class above you, and then all of a sudden the class below you is revolting against you, you know, thousands, hundreds of years later, like the French Revolution. Like, you know, it's all just cyclical, man. Like,
History repeats itself. That's an
that's just
original
how it
Good
goes.
Vibes Live.
Yeah, that's our quote. History repeats itself. Coined on Good Vibes Live for the first time
Yeah.
ever.
Listen, to be honest with you, here's how I look at it. I'm going to start quoting everything that I find interesting and like well written as my own. Because if history repeats itself, though everything that's been said has probably been said in some way before.
Fair. No, dude. I totally see what you're saying. That I think that that's like the omniconscious. Like, to think that you've ever had an original thought is like pretty absurd. That you haven't. Like, everybody's had that thought, or they have yet to have that thought. Like, no idea is original. It's our idea as a collective humanity, like part of the universe. The ideas exist. We just find them. We just discover the idea.
Mm.
You catch me? This is getting.
Yeah.
This is a unique episode.
I got
it's only
some.
the
I got.
third, but it's unique.
It's because I feel like the vibes have been off a little bit this week. I don't know about you.
It's not just the week. It's just like the vibe. It's hard to. I mean, don't get me wrong. I stay good vibes. I do. I really try my best.
You got to stay. You have to. If we don't, no one's going to. They got to have faith in our good vibes.
That's true.
We have the capacity to have good vibes, even the most bad vibes situations.
I actually was listening to a after school special, which is a YouTube thing, not like an actual after school special. And I found a quote that I think is pretty on point to what we're talking about. But it's like, you know, learning how to think means learning how to exercise some control over what you think. It means being conscious and aware enough to choose what you pay attention to and how you construct meaning. So like, it's like what we're talking about right now, you know, like there's obviously a lot of bad going on. There's always a lot of bad going on. Like you can either choose to focus on like the fact that like, oh dude, I'm stuck inside, like I'm stuck in this quarantine, or you can choose to focus on the fact that like we're in probably the best quarantine possible. Like when the Spanish flu was happening, like people didn't have Netflix, people didn't have Zoom, people didn't have cell phones to communicate across the globe, dude. Like, yeah, this obviously isn't an ideal situation, but what is? Like, this is the best possible quarantine, you know? Like, I'm enjoying quarantine because I'm looking
quarantine forever. That's our official stance.
Never stop quarantining 2020. This is my
honestly,
notebook, by the way, if you wanted to see it.
Actually, that's a very nice notebook.
I got a lot of jokes in here. You want to hear?
I find the people that spend, you know, more attention on the notebook they get don't write good jokes, so I have no interest.
Oh, dude!
In anything you have.
This
written.
Was a gift. This was a gift from.
That was a gift. God,
yeah,
fuck
from
you.
a girl
fuck
of mine.
You. That must be nice. That must be nice for someone to gift you something that you care about. Never mind.
Yeah, it was. Do you want to hear the? So I got this book in I think 2016. Do you want to hear the first, just like starred line? It's really
Make America Great Again.
Midget bouncer.
Not okay to use that.
Is it not
word.
okay? Damn,
it was okay
dude,
in 2016.
person.
It was okay in 2016.
Okay, yeah. So in 2016 when I wrote it,
okay in 2016.
I mean, the story that goes behind the small person bouncer, honestly, I think, yeah, I don't know, dude, might be worth sharing.
Check yourself, bitch.
On a podcast.
Okay. So are you into it? I'm down.
Yeah,
I got nothing.
I got a story for you.
So
welcome to the first rendition of Story Time on Good Vibes Live. So
story time. Do you want me to sing?
If you don't mind, yeah, dude, of course.
I could vocally flex.
Background music. But if you don't mind, I'm gonna change the names, places, you know, everything about this story.
Yeah.
Other than
what's
cold hard facts. So one time, a grouping of friends of mine. Now we'll pretend I was of legal age. I was not.
Sorry.
I know it's a classic. It's a classic. It's so funny you laugh before you even know what's happening.
No, I was laughing because the last line hit me too fast, and I was like, "What did he say?" And then clicked, and then I.
So you were laughing at it. Okay, shut up, dude. Stop. No, I'm just kidding. All right.
Go on.
All right. So basically,
seriously.
All right. So seriously. We'll say it's a Thursday night at Bob's. That's the name of the bar, right? It's a Thursday night at Bob's. But like At the time, I know, because it wasn't a Thursday night. It was a Tuesday night. I'm just going to be honest about the day of the week it was. It was a Tuesday because that kind of almost adds to the story. And it was
Bob's
finals
real?
week. No, Bob's is not the real name of the place. And so it was a finals week of my freshman year of college. And, a buddy of mine and I decided, hey, it's a Tuesday, but I have a 1.9 GPA at this point. What are these finals going to do for me, dude? Like, if anything, they're just going to make me feel more dumb. So I said, let's blow this popsicle stand. Let's go get wasted. And my buddy is like,
future employers, listen up.
my buddy who is of age. This was before I got kicked out of my first school, before I learned my lesson. and so my buddy is like, oh, dude, like, totally great idea. I only have a 2.1 GPA right now. So like, I also am failing upward. So I was like, bet, man. So we start slamming down a couple Four Locos. For the youngsters listening that don't know, Four Locos were sex in a can, baby. They were the best power drink ever created by God. All right. People don't get that. I don't know, Liam, I'm only 2 years older than you.
Mm-hmm.
Do you, have you ever had the caffeinated Four Loko, like the original Four Loko? Yeah.
I'm a fan. I like Four Locos. Yeah.
That was really, there was a point in my life, I swear to God, during this point in my life, I really sincerely was like, when I get famous, however it is, I am going to be sponsored by Four Loko. Like, that's going to be what I'm known for. Just a fun point of where I was. No,
do they not still have that caffeinated version?
No, dude, there's no more caffeine in them because kids were dying.
How long ago did that happen? Maybe I haven't had these.
You probably haven't had the caffeine because I was like 14 when they.
Oh,
stopped.
No, definitely.
I was like, damn, Liam was cool.
Yeah, that was funny. No, I was gonna say I've had like I've seen like original flavor Four Loko. I think I've had a good amount of Four Loko, but definitely not the caffeine.
Of course, if you drank before you were 21, I'm sure you had Four. Until now, these White Claws changing everything, ruining it. If you ask me,
Mike's Hard Lemonade all the time.
That was actually the first time I ever drank was accidentally drinking Mike's Hard Lemonade.
Same, not accidental. I was with some people first weekend of college. I wanted to look cool. They were drinking them, and I'm like, sure. It's like, and I got trashed. First time I ever drank. And got drunk.
I got ham.
Sorry, go on.
Was that really? That wasn't the first time you ever drank, was it?
I got trashed. No, it wasn't.
Okay. You drank in high school, did you? I'm not going to judge
I definitely did. Do I not remember how much? Yeah, I did, because I remember I was trashed on prom night. It was awesome.
Yeah, that's
great. I was fighting with my significant other. No, I'm kidding. Not true. It was actually a really, really good night and good time.
Wonderful.
But it was definitely drunk then. I don't know why I remember. Maybe it was just the first time I liked drinking. No, That's definitely not what I meant to say. I don't know. It was a
maybe
good
the first time you got it's a good time.
White girl wasted? I don't know.
Oh, we've been white girl wasted together.
Yeah, we did. We talked.
We talked about that. Yeah, but so
history repeats itself.
Like I said, my friend and I decided to hit the bar after a couple locos. Now, this particular bar had a very special on Tuesday nights. They had these things that were a bomb of sort, like kind of like a Jaeger bomb type deal, but it was way better than that. And most nights, this is a college bar, so these prices are outrageous. Most nights it was only $5, which is an incredible deal for a shot. But on Tuesdays, it was $2.50. So we were like, yo, F it, slamming 20s down, like, bomb after bomb after bomb after bomb, like that's super sweet. Obnoxiously drunk. Literally like the only people other than a couple townies in the bar on a Tuesday night. And I'm getting rowdy. My boy's getting rowdy. And the bartender's like, yo, we got to cut you off. So I'm like looking at him, looking at her, looking at him, looking at her. And I'm like, you can't cut me off. Like, who do you think? Do you know who you're talking to? Like, meanwhile, I'm underage. I'm underage.
I'm from New York.
Yeah. I was like, I don't think you quite really understand I got a 1.9 GPA. All right. Like, I'm 19 years old in this mother.
It is a Tuesday. And I'm sure.
So we're like arguing with the bar. The tender, we're like, you can't cut us off. Like, we're kings, we're young white kids. So
this must be a mistake.
So she literally signals to the bouncer to come over. And now, Liam, this is where the story gets wild. And now everything I'm telling you, Liam, happened. So this woman looks at me and she's like, I'm going to have to ask you to leave. And I'm like, I am not leaving. Like, I'm the actual owner of this bar. And she was like, so the bouncer comes over, bro. And like, I just hear a voice like, you guys got to get out of here. So I turn around. I'm sitting on a stool. I turn around. I don't see anybody. I look down. And I see a person. a little person. And so I look at my buddy, he looks at me, we look at the bouncer, and we just start laughing. Dude, like I'm super hammered. I'm like, who in the world do you think you are? Like, you think and now I'm being very derogatory here. I'm like,
Yeah, this is a bad look.
Bad luck, dude. Hey,
I hope you get, here we go.
Bad luck. So I'm like, do you think
terrible.
you of all people are going to throw me out of this bar? I'm like, I don't know if you heard, I own this place. Man cocks back, dude, and just punches me square in the dick.
Yeah, that's what's up.
Beat me up. Beat me up.
He
Dude.
kicked your ass.
Yeah,
Beat the fuck out of you.
No chance. No chance was had on my part. I just got beat up and dragged out of the bar. My fake ID taken from me, and that was like my first reality check in life, where I was like, "Wow,
yeah, it's like
maybe
that's a great. That's like a comical. Like,
yeah,
that's
no, dude. Like, literally, like I like looked at my life in that point. Like, me and my buddy looked at each other like, we're never telling anybody what happened here. Like, wake up the next day, like
just like
up,
crying, like
our like housemates and like teammates are like, yo, dude, like what happened to your face? And we're like, oh, dude, it got crazy last night. We got jumped. There was like 12 dudes. Like, meanwhile, just one smaller than average height bouncer beat up 2 regular size adults, and that's life. If that's not the most like symbolic thing of like when you really feel like the man, like when you're telling the world you're king, that's what happens to you. That's called karma.
In my head, that was the Penguin from Batman. That's who it was the whole time.
But so basically, yeah, that's my.
No, I'm sorry, that Mike. That's in
the book.
Great
baby.
Story.
Thank you, Liam.
That's
why it's in the book, dude. Because
great content.
I know I can turn that into a funny bit.
Yes, you can. That's good. This is great. This is great stuff. I like it.
Maybe I'll read something from the book every episode.
Go for it. That's a good. Just get into crimes that you got away with.
Is that a crime? Technically, I guess I was underage at a bar.
I'm talking with the gun trafficking. That's what people are going to want to hear about.
Yeah, but I didn't. Again, gun trafficking makes it sound worse than it was. I was driving fast in traffic with guns into walls to get rid of those guns
across borders. But
I mean, sometimes you got to go across a state border to get guns.
Whoa, it's pretty easy to go across state borders. It's almost like, why?
It's really easy to cross state borders. Like, it shouldn't be. There should. I don't know, dude. I don't know, but there shouldn't be different laws.
There should be borders if there's not borders. Like,
I don't get. Yeah, exactly. That's the thing.
So you're saying build a wall. That's what you're saying? You're saying
build a wall between New York and New Jersey. Other than that.
Yo, that's what New Jersey people are saying online about New Yorkers. They're saying a bunch of New Yorkers just get sick and come into New Jersey. I was seeing
are they really saying that?
I read some like crazy YouTube thread on a video about it. And it was just like New Yorkers and New Jersey people just all they hate coming out. And I'm in just mass and I'm like, this is great.
New York.
Fuck them both.
Excuse me. New Jersey is my first time ever going viral was just from hating on New Jersey.
Oh God.
Yeah. I hate. I don't like. No, I don't hate any. I don't hate.
Get some stuff off your chest. It'll be.
Listen, it's Good Vibes Live. I'm not trying to disclude anybody on Good Vibes Live. If there's one grouping of people we could exclude.
This is going to be the clip.
This might be the clip. If there's one grouping of fans I want to exclude on Good Vibes Live, it's the entire state of New Jersey.
Oh man,
the entire state. I don't want them listening. I don't want them thinking it's okay to have good times. Okay, like they're not allowed. No, I'm just kidding. I really am. I have nothing against New Jersey. No, that's not.
Say it, Mike.
Not true. Dude,
I know you're from New York. I know that's not true.
Because it's just like, yo. The thing is, I really don't care about New Jersey, but New Jersey cares so much about New York. You know what I mean? They try and claim New York, dude. And it's just like, shut up. Like, be your own state. Have your own identity. Stop commuting to my city and bringing diseases back and then blaming us for them. Okay? Like, stay out.
Hold on.
Stay out.
Rewind. What did you just say?
You just said they were blaming New Yorkers for COVID in Jersey.
Oh, I thought you were just saying they were doing that.
No.
They're now.
Because the thing is, they're working in New York. You know what I mean? They're commuting from Jersey to New York because Jersey has nothing to offer. So they're coming to and that's what I. You know what? That's what I really hate
property
about
tax.
Jersey. Very high property tax, but so does New York. But Jersey, they'll be like, "You guys come to our beaches." We're like, first off, you're just the beach part of New York. Like we could go to Long Island. That's all you are. That's all you are. Like we could go to Long Island for sure. I love the island. I'm from the island, like Strong Island through and through. You know me.
You're a Long Islander originally?
Well, I've lived a couple places, Liam. I've lived a couple places. Floral Park being one of them, right next to Queens, first town in from Queens to Long Island. Like they're attached.
Cool.
Yeah, you know I've been around New York. Actually, I feel like you learn something new like every episode about.
I do, yeah. It's like it's this is kind of it's like we're interviewing each other, just getting to the raw, meaty. Did not know you were a Long Islander. Yeah, weird. I've met people from Long Island, and you can always tell someone's from Long Island because they mention it within 2 to 3 minutes of meeting them.
Yeah, I'm not.
But you didn't do that, so that's impressive. Yeah.
The only thing I would rep from Long Island that heavily that like I would really hold is like the bagels.
I've heard
there's nothing better. Like ever. There's not a single better thing than Long Island bagels.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard this whole like hating on New Jersey thing. It's not, as a New Yorker, it's not like original. You know, not saying you're unoriginal. I'm just saying.
No,
like,
I get it.
That show How I Met Your Mother, right? Had an episode. They just shit all over that state, like all the time.
I think
it's interesting. That was like mainstream appeal.
Yeah, because it is, dude. It's like a they're like a little brother. You know what I mean? Like they're so like just dumb and irrelevant, but like for some reason they try so hard to like compete with us, and we're just like we should be the bigger people and just
snuff them out.
Just like realize like flattery, whatever. Like what's it called? Like when somebody tries to be used the highest form of flattery.
Yeah, I got it.
What's the word though?
Oh, what do you mean when something's trying to?
Yeah, dude.
Imitation is the
imitation.
Yeah.
That's what Jersey's doing, but like they smell, dude. I'm sorry, the whole state smells. Have you been to New Jersey?
I got some family in New Jersey. They're lovely,
dude,
but I will say
smells.
I have not enjoyed much of anything else when I've been there.
Other than Wawa's, but you could go to Philly and go to Wawa.
Wawa?
You've never been to a Wawa?
No, what is that? What is a Wawa?
You've been to a Quick Check?
Excuse me?
Like the gas station, Quick Check?
Maybe.
You've been to Cumberland Farms?
Yes. Yeah,
right. Yep. Imagine Cumberland Farms if it was the most amazing place you've ever been in your life. That's Wawa.
Cumberland Farms is like up there, so I can kind of see what you're saying. Okay,
if you need me to rank the gas stations,
the New Jersey thing's fine, but I'm not gonna rank the gas stations. Let's get the list ready.
Number 1 is Wawa, like hands down, like not even a competition. 2, Quick Check. 3, Cumberland Farms.
Have you driven across the country?
Don't ask me dumb questions.
Okay, so I have, right?
I've walked it.
You've walked it. Nice. I actually didn't do any of the driving. I pretty much just sat there like a bitch, and it was great. I enjoyed it. I got to see some countryside. Midwestern states are terrible, but besides that, a lot of this country is beautiful. There's a ton of different gas station franchises across the country, and some of them are really nice, and others are not. Can't remember a single one of them though.
You think any of them are better than Wawa?
From your description, I'd say there's probably some stuff on par.
Come on, son.
You know what my favorite gas station is?
What?
Utah. There's this place in Utah. There's this one gas station. It's a lone gas station. I believe it's Utah or Nevada. It's one of those 2 states. We were driving across the country, day 4, with my buddy John.
It only took you.
He's a great guy. It took John and Luke. No last names here. Don't want to incriminate them. We're not doing anything illegal. I didn't mean to say that. I just meant affiliate them. But unless they want to be, that's fine. But anywho, they're driving. Me and John are alone in the car. Things are tense. We had just gotten into an argument over 2 musicians, two bands, and I was a bit cranky that day. I took it pretty far because I often do things like that. Vibes were thrown off. Then all of a sudden, we realized in this tense, murky waters, We are in the middle of the desert, and we do not have much gas left. In fact, we have 18 miles left. The last sign we saw was a while ago. It said gas station in 50 miles. We're like, that could be right. Like we I think we're in that realm. So I'm just looking at him. We're looking at each other in each other's eyes, you know. The sun's beating down, it's hot. It's in May. No, it's early June. No, late May, I believe. And yeah, late May. And it's hot. And I'm looking around. We have like 2 bottles of water, mostly gone. Some guns, plenty of guns. Of course, across the country, you got to have those. You know, because some cops they're bullshit, but yeah, no. And I'm like, oh man, this is. We both look at our phones. Have not had signal all day. We've been remarking on it all morning. In fact, calling attention to it. Only then realizing that what that means is there's no cell coverage, so we can't call anyone if things get real bad. So I'm just looking at my buddy and I'm like, man, this is scary. It is the most scenic, gorgeous red rock canyons that we're driving through. So again, sun's coming down. We're listening to great music. And then we're like, we should probably turn that down. We were listening to, I believe, a playlist of modern baseball.
Ooh.
The bands that we were arguing over, the Front Bottoms
modern baseball,
versus modern baseball.
And no, brand new.
No, brand new's lead singer is, I believe. Okay,
Dude.
I don't want to.
No, let's do it. Let's do it. No, I know what you're going to say. I know what you're going to say. I know the story.
Go for it. Go for it. Detour. We'll get back to my story later.
This is bad vibes. He was like getting nudes from underage girls and sending nudes to underage girls.
Dude, what's the point of being a fucking rock star?
Not to do that.
They don't let you do anything these days.
Overage girls is the point.
Oh, see,
of age, not just overage.
Misheard you. I got you.
Yeah, he was getting nudes, child pornography. And
damn,
like, dude, it's so hard to
terrible.
separate. Like, all right, this is. Do you want to finish your story and then can I bring up because this will probably take us pretty
sure. This is a good other thing. Let's get back to the story.
You want to get back to the story?
Yeah, and then we'll just go back to that one. That's a good.
Right.
Yeah, I think
I got a good point. I got a good point or a poignant question to ask after your story. Let me write it down so I don't forget. Keep going though.
Mike has a brand new tattoo that he got before hearing the news, and now he just has to still ride on the
really
team.
Sad.
This is the ride on the team. You know, there are people out there.
Bro, people get so offended when I have the tattoo. They're like, "Is that from the band?" And I'm like, I mean,
the first one was before. The second one was after.
The second one was standing, and no, I'm just kidding. I would never stand for that. I don't even want to joke about standing for that.
Yo, are you gonna tell me? You're gonna tell me track 7 on that?
Jesus Christ is still a good song. I don't care.
I've heard good brand new songs. It's just you know, it's interesting that you know where the music's coming from.
Finish your story, so because this is kind of
how much value it adds. But yeah, I'll get
bring up.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, sun's beating down, and I'm like, man, modern baseball is better than the Front Bottoms. But I wasn't gonna say that.
Okay, you were dying on a hill.
I was just I was dying on a hill. They're way better. I love the Front Bottoms, but modern baseball got better with age.
I think
Front Bottoms
better too.
Yeah, their instrumentals.
Twin Size Mattress is better than any modern baseball song.
Yo, I love the Front Bottoms. I just think modern baseball just has more range, and their instrumentals are straight crazy sometimes.
I feel you.
I don't think the Front Bottoms ever does that, but they do good music even still to this day. But it's not as good as the punky stuff. Anyway, anywho. And I'm like, I will die in this car. I will eat this kid before I admit the modern baseball is better than the Front Bottoms. And we had just met. This was literally some of our first interactions ever. And the other guys were in another van, and it was just full, and we were cycling around. This was our day through there, we probably spent so much energy fucking, do I hate this kid? We didn't pay attention to anything important, you know? And, I'm not apologizing. I'm you know, I'm not doing it. And he's like, yo, this kid was like taking this really, you know, maybe he was projecting. I don't know. But like good times, these are the bad times. Eventually it's getting really, really, really spooky because we haven't seen anything for forever. And I think we're like less than 10. And then we were just over 10. And then this might be just making it more dramatic in my head, I'm sure. But we saw a sign, gas station in 10 miles. And we were like, thank fuck, holy shit, you know? So we get there, and then the gas station's not right off the exit.
Oh, that's the worst.
It's like 5 miles down the road. So we're like really freaking out. We do get there, and it is weird. It's like this Stephen King-esque town in the middle of nowhere. Maybe 8 people. It was a boom town probably in like the 30s of the 1930s. Like people fled from the Depression to go there or something. I don't know. People were stupid, but it was crazy. The gas station, there was one guy in it. John, he goes to go get the gas. I have to pee. And again, this kid didn't think the front bottoms were better than modern baseball, so I don't respect him at all. You know, no, at that point. I go to the bathroom, I'm peeing, you know, doing my thing. All of a sudden, it's like this weird bathroom, like in the middle of a field. Dead grass everywhere. It feels weird. It's unsettling. There's no movement, just fucking tumbleweeds, you know? So I go to the bathroom, start peeing, and then all of a sudden I hear a door, and I'm like, that's a little weird. I feel like I would have known someone was there, given how, like, out in the nowhere this fucking bathroom was. The guy comes up to me and he says, we have a cool looking car. And he starts peeing next to me. We hashed it out. People in Utah are pretty okay. But it was horrific. It was pretty scary at the moment. Just the whole thing, I was just tensed up, you know. I was peeing, and that's scary.
Whole story? Like, is the punchline the guy coming next to you? No, this all stemmed from the gas station conversation.
We got back in the car, and then we drove, I think, through to Colorado that night, I think. And it was amazing. So it was a very low point. We thought things were going to get bad. They didn't get that bad. They got real bad, scary close.
They didn't get
I
bad
thought I was
going
to have to apologize and hold some, you know.
This was the most anticlimactic story I've ever heard. Because,
like, you know, I'm like here, right? I didn't die in that. What did you hope was going to happen?
You know, I don't know, dude. I thought you were going to come to the dopest gas station ever because we were talking about great gas stations. And you're like, I know my favorite gas station.
That's my favorite gas station because if that gas station wasn't there, we would have died.
But it's still not a good gas station.
Oh, no, it was really bad. Not good lighting.
Yeah. That's pump. Where I was excited to hear about this magnificent gas station.
Like $7 a gallon.
And all I hear about is you peeing next to some Mormon, and this guy's like asking you how big's your cock, and you're like, well, it's kind of big. And he's like, 4 inches is actually the American average. So if it's bigger than that, then you're actually pretty big. And you got your ego boosted that day. You said 4.1's not that bad. And you know what, Liam? It's not.
Then he showed me his dick.
That's when things got real fun.
2 dicks.
2 dicks is always better than 1 dick. Let's be honest.
You did not think so, but it really depends on like where they are. But yeah, I'm sorry if that was anticlimactic, Mike. I didn't mean to disappoint you.
I guess I was just expecting.
Okay, no,
disappoint you with my
that's fine. That's fine. We are science is 15 miles out, and we're 10 miles. You know, left in the thing. So we break down.
You had to push it?
Something like that. We pull over, right? And again, it's just getting real tense because I'm like, fuck, I might have to apologize to this kid. You know, we might have to hug each other or something if it's, you know, it's going to get real cold or something. I've seen the movies. It's hot during the day, but it's cold during the night. And we're also, to be clear, Mike, we haven't seen cars all day.
Yeah, what's that like?
It's fucking You see why the Mormons have influenced. No, sorry.
Am I like an East Coast elitist? Like, because I've never.
It's amazing.
Been on a highway and not seen cars for miles.
We'll take a road trip someday. We'll get an amazing.
Do you believe in
car.
East Coast or just coastal elitism?
No. Yes, I know coastal. I believe it exists. I don't believe it has
coastal elitist.
No, I'm telling you, there's amazing parts of the country that aren't the Midwestern states or New Jersey or Connecticut.
See, the Midwestern states or like the middle of the country entirely.
No, not what I said.
It's what you're implying, though. You're like, there's
good. What do you think?
states.
Like, is Colorado's not on the coast? That's like one of the most amazing states I've ever seen.
That's fair. Colorado gets a pat. When Nevada only
Utah is pretty good. That's what I'm saying.
Vegas.
The Red Canyons in Arizona, and in
is Utah Southwest?
Amazing. Utah Southwest. No, it's like Midwest. But like
you just said, you don't like the Midwest.
It's not Midwest. It's probably.
Is Colorado?
It's like the end of the Midwestern states. But like Missouri, Kentucky, fucking. I'm not naming specific names, but Missouri sucked. Kentucky was trash, and fucking Indiana is terrible too. Oh my god!
So the progressive middle of the country we like.
No, the people that do all the hard work that keep this country alive and are currently keeping the food chain working. Those are them. Some of them, anyway. I don't know all the facts.
Then we would like Kentucky and Missouri, probably. I don't know where.
But to drive through was bad. Oh
where are the farms?
They would agree. Where are the farms? I don't know. I didn't see them. I'm not sure if they're real. But we didn't like take a tour of like a mass.
Where are the farms?
Yeah, that's the new theory. Like, where are the farms? That are closing them?
Earth
I don't know.
isn't
There's a
flat,
farm down
bro.
the street. I still see those cows. What's
Earth
up
isn't
with that?
flat. If Earth was flat, there would be farms on it, and I've never seen a farm.
Oh, that's heavy stuff.
Yeah, man.
But anyway, we're stranded. We start playing on our phone, modern baseball on the front bottoms, going back and forth. And I'm really thinking he's right, but I am not comfortable in myself to agree with him.
No, of course not.
Because I just not what a man does.
I think that's my best attribute is how little I am married to my opinions. Like I'm the most easily swayed to the other side of the argument, which I think is a lot of people are like, oh, like I think that's an admirable quality. It shows how open-minded I am. If you give me a good argument on anything, I will be swayed to your side if you're good at presenting your argument.
Fish.
The band
flopping Fish. You're a Mitt Romney, Mitch Hedberg.
Or maybe I'm just open-minded and see that there's the truth everywhere. Like everyone has truth if they believe.
Damn. Guns are though what everyone should have.
You could definitely sell me on guns. Like right now I'm anti-gun.
Speaking of,
could be sold.
Here's my point. Speaking of guns, right? Eventually, a police officer, pulls up to us. Only thing is, I noticed there's a bunch of blood on his collar. And
don't admit to any crimes on air, Liam.
I'm not. It's crazy. There was blood all over his collar, like as if those clothes weren't his, and he killed the other officer whose clothes they were.
What a twist!
So he shoots my friend in the stomach. Shoots him right in the stomach. Right? It's insane. Pulls us over. It's just a maniac. Just killed a police officer, is wearing his clothes, and now shot my buddy in the stomach. And then he forces me to get out of the car. You know what he makes me do?
Belly dance.
He makes me strip down and lay down on the asphalt. And it was kind of awesome. Try not to enjoy it too much. And
face first or butt first?
Both. It's kind of like a pancake. I had to flip.
Okay.
Like a
that
patty.
Probably was uncomfortable.
Wasn't great. Definitely. Felt better on the balls though. I'm just being real.
Really?
Being totally. Yeah, there's more skin on the back side. So it's like, you know, if you're leaning, you know, my knees are gonna touch my, you know, ambiguous length penis is gonna touch. My nipples are gonna touch, you know. But then when I flip myself over, it's gonna feel pretty good.
Balls touch.
A lot worse, you know. But yeah, and then he gets too close to me. He slips,
Oh.
and John's a real trooper, right? He's bleeding all over the place. But if you get shot in the stomach, Mike, I don't know if you know this. I know this because of Reservoir Dogs.
And
It's
seeing
the
it in person.
Longest time to bleed out. It's going to be real painful.
You can live through a bullet.
John's
to the
crawling from the
stomach.
car. The officer is tripped. Mike grabs his collar from behind, starts choking him. And I'm just watching, man. I'm freaking out. I'm just so nervous. I'm a nervous guy. And like John's really struggling. He's begging for my help, but I'm freaking out. And eventually John overpowers him. He takes over himself. And I start cheering him on. But I'm still freaked. I'm not getting involved. And John subdues him. And then the guy had his talkie on, which is interesting. And we used that talkie to radio for help. Turns out this guy was an escaped convict, killed the cop that had him and was disguised as him, and he had killed 20 people that day up and down that highway.
We can make an honest short video out of that, like a dramatic one, of course, not comedy. And it would be very appealing to a lot of people.
You don't mean that.
I do mean that. That was a great story.
You think so?
Once I came in with my, director's cuts and like my, you got to Hollywood this up a bit, the alternate ending. And you took those notes. You took those notes and it was awesome, dude. The way you realized my ideas are always going to be better than yours.
And the original ending stunk and we needed escape convict. And you really went with that. And Matt, marvelous.
That was all off the cuff, baby. That was all off the cuff.
Dome.
Maybe that's what it is. Maybe that's what I should do from now on. Never
freestyle,
write ever
movies.
again.
No, freestyle everything. Jay-Z.
Okay, I can rap.
Only rapper to rewrite history. I'm looking at my
keyboard. Dyslexic. Trying to find some words. That's good. There wasn't a beat. It's harder.
I could rap without a beat anytime. Anyway.
Could you?
But yeah, bro.
Why don't you prove to the audience, pussy?
You want me to rap right now without a beat?
Give him something. Give him something about you. Give something about you. Give a fire freestyle.
As the kids call it. I'm looking at the keyboard right there. Shorty on her knees though. Oh. Right where? Under
making it sexual.
I know. I don't want to do this. Okay. You were doing good. It was good. I do want to do it. I do want to do it, but I want to be able to have multiple tries and say the first one was my first try. Or
that's
say the one that we put.
Is that how it really goes?
No. I mean, depends. It depends.
Do you think like when you see one of these big name rappers do a freestyle, is it really freestyle? Like how much can it really be freestyled?
Most of them are
really
for sure.
We just write all the time.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I have noticed in my own music is I'll go through ebbs and flows of I'll be freestyling super good for a period of time, but then those all turn into writtens. And so I'm like, yo, I am no longer capable of freestyling at this point in time because I've used all the bars in my brain for, until all of a sudden something else inspires you and you have something new to talk about. But yeah, it definitely is. You eventually you're just going to be recycling bars. And if you've never heard them, they're new to you. So that's all that matters. But you're not going to go on sway in the morning and just hope that you're going to have. No, I'm saying in general, you're not going to go on sway in the morning and hope and hope that your bars are about to be fire for the internet to hear. You're going to come prepared only. But see, that's what people don't really Jay-Z has never written a song in his life.
I was actually going to bring that up because that's something. I don't know. I'm sure he's not the only guy that does that, but that is the person I associate with that fact.
Only rapper to rewrite history without a pen. No ID on the track.
So what do you mean? He's never just thinking about rhymes at home.
I'm sure he is.
That's writing.
No. He's not physically writing them with a pen.
Okay, well that's a technicality.
I don't know. I've never been in the booth with Jay-Z, but the way I imagine it,
you should do it sometime. It's pretty great.
I mean, I would like to.
Inspirational.
If I could collaborate with anybody in the world, it would probably be Jay-Z.
Let's send him this clip.
Yeah. AJ, my name is Mike.
We should make it look like we have a title subscription going.
Yeah, I actually did subscribe to Tidal for a while until Jay-Z got back on Spotify.
Most people, yeah. Jay-Z was just like, yeah, I'm just gonna make just a ludicrous amount of money for my music
because he's that good.
Yeah, I said it was a dumb move, but like I wasn't listening to I wasn't paying attention. I was like, no, there's a generation of kids who don't care about who Jay-Z is now, and now it's just on Spotify. So like I'm sure that'll change in time.
Is there ever going to be a generation of kids who don't care about Jay-Z? Like,
what I meant is like no one really
part.
had Tidal.
No,
like,
I feel
it wasn't
you, but
on
that's
Spotify.
like saying like I get like his music wasn't as easily accessible, but like
yeah, you're my dogs.
People are yeah, I actually did just hear your dogs.
Yeah,
people are
out.
always going to care about the greats. You know what I mean? Like Jay-Z is more than music.
Yes, he's the first hip hop billionaire, right? But like that's what they call him. But like he's also a like he fucking, I don't know, doesn't he do like he's got so many different lanes that he's in.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
He's pretty
music,
much
like,
he's pretty much the president to me.
It could be. Like as far as self-made, like he's got a great fucking story.
Dude, he's got the music best story.
For the music.
Yeah. The story, like, and the music are synonymous with Jay-Z, though. That's the thing.
You want to talk about Jay-Z for like an hour someday?
I could honestly have a podcast dedicated to just Jay-Z.
Just Jay-Z.
Just Jay-Z. That is a great name for the podcast. Yeah.
Every day.
Nah,
Jay-Z t-shirt.
I am obviously East Coast biased when it comes to hip hop, but I don't know. I
got a
Kendrick,
question.
What?
Just a New York East Coast thing.
Yeah.
Nas or Jay-Z?
I go Jay-Z. I get Nas. Like I get other people liking Nas. I just prefer Jay-Z. I'm not gonna.
Jay-Z has a lot more hits.
Yeah, dude, for sure. Jay-Z.
We're just talking about making music.
Did you see? I think it was French Montana said Drake and Jay-Z.
French Montana did say that shit. I saw that. I was like,
what an absurd thing to say. Jay-Z and Drake might have more hits than me. Might. Yeah, maybe. Drake, first off, Drake has more hits than anybody ever in history.
Yeah, he just surpassed Eminem, I think, for most, I don't know, hits or some shit. Like, or not hits.
I think probably a while ago surpassed Eminem because it was actually the Beatles.
Very recently. Like I saw like
Eminem definitely did not surpass MJ and the Beatles.
I think he did.
Eminem was bigger than the Beatles and Michael Jackson.
I don't know about that. I don't know. It's different. Music was different. Like
all I know is Drake is the biggest musician ever.
All I know is how to read a headline, bro.
Fair.
I shouldn't. I could have read further.
Was writing a bit the other day about how I'm so like knowledgeable on headlines. Like I just read the headline and like, oh, okay, and take it as fact instead of like reading articles, and how it's a big problem of mine. So I'm glad you brought that up.
It's good. It leads to populist movements and people hating each other.
But this brings me to no, go ahead. What were you going to say?
No, you got a point, right? Also, you had something earlier.
That's what I was just about to bring up.
Thank God.
Yeah.
That's a pet peeve of mine.
It's kind of like where we're at right now, because it's we were just talking about Brand New and the issues with their lead singer, and now we're talking about Jay-Z, whom I love. I don't care what he's ever done. He's done some bad things, he has, but I don't care. I love him anyway. Now that brings me, can you separate the art,
like cheating on Beyonce
and killing his cousin? But like, can you separate the art from the artist?
I don't really care about the cheating on Beyonce thing. Don't even know if it's true. I'm spreading fake news. I love Jay-Z. I would
definitely cheat.
Jay-Z can have sex with whoever he wants.
Did he kill his brother or his cousin?
I don't know what you are referring to. Actually, I'm not that deep in the Jay-Z lore hole.
He didn't kill anybody legally.
You're from New York, man.
I am from New York.
Are you trying? What bridges are you trying to burn down right now?
I ain't snitching. No, but like, can you separate the art from the artist?
With Jay-Z, sure. Not Chris Brown. Kidding. Didn't mean to say that.
I don't like Chris Brown as is.
I just don't like the music.
I have no problem. Yeah,
before
exactly.
The beat, I also think
exactly. I never liked Chris Brown. I never liked Chris Brown. So like when he hit Rihanna, it was easy for me to hop on the train of fuck Chris Brown, like hashtag. But he's still relevant. That's the thing. Like people like this cancel culture, such bullshit. Because Chris Brown is still, on hit songs. The most recent reference I have to that is the one with Lil Dicky.
Great song.
That song sucks, dude.
No, it's not good.
You don't believe
it's really not good. I don't really think that. I think I love Lil Dicky. I love his show. We talked about this. His show's great. I love his album, Professional Rapper. I don't think either of his 2 singles are good.
Earth is cool.
You know what I mean?
Earth is cool.
Yeah, it's a cool,
Not
great
good.
idea to make a shit ton of money for.
Facts.
I was all for it. Great marketing.
Yeah.
All for it. It's genius.
But it's not a good song.
Did not listen to it. I can't say more than one time after, probably.
I definitely banged to it.
Talk about Brand New, buddy.
No, not just Brand New. I'm talking about the art from the artist.
Just talk about. Okay. So yeah, Brand New is better now, is what you're saying.
I don't know. I don't know, dude. I really don't know. Like, if it's because the thing is, like, we praise all these artists from long ago, like Michelangelo or like Leonardo da Vinci. Like, we don't know if cancel culture was around then, would we be tweeting out like some creepy ass shit Michelangelo was doing? But we don't know. You know what I mean? Like, it's just now we're in this time where like everybody's mistakes are publicized to the internet. Everybody makes mistakes, first off. So it's like, should we separate the art? Should we just acknowledge like, this is just good art? It's not my fault that the lead singer likes to see 16-year-old titties, or it's not my fault that the lead singer beat a woman. And like, I don't know what my opinion, I genuinely don't know what the right answer is.
You're asking conceptual. Yeah. I definitely, personally, when I hear like someone does something really messed up, the music is soured in some way, whether it's consciously or subconsciously. Like, the music doesn't sound as good to me, I guess, depending on what they did.
Yeah, I mean, definitely.
Yeah, because and I know like rappers and musicians and bands and stuff. They have people like it's not just this one person writing everything a lot of the time, but like
they're the face.
A lot of the appeal, I think, like the front facing appeal, is that it's a real perspective.
Yeah.
Coming from a real person, and when you find out that real person is not into some good stuff, like it's not, the music to me doesn't sound as good.
Yeah, you polarize the fuck out of it.
Well, to be honest,
is alt-right, bro. People are going to think this is an alt-right podcast.
I've been just trying to throw signs. I talked about, what about that whole Israel talk, Mike? What do you explain?
When was that?
Episode 1 and 2.
Israel talk.
To me saying that, I had there's no hidden good vibes.
I tried taking the Birthright trip to Israel.
Bet you did.
They said no. They said you're not
hard
Jewish.
To believe.
I was like, what do you mean? Who said I
You
had to
won't
be
pay
Jewish?
for me to fly? Like,
I was like, who in the world said I had to be Jewish? They're like, that's the whole point. I was like, can I convert? They were like, no, it doesn't work like that. I was like, this seems like a pretty exclusive club that I need to be a part of.
You just heard about brisses and you're like, I need in. I want to get in.
I was like, you mean to tell me they're riding camels over there? Like, I don't know, dude. It just really seems they ride camels. That's a sincere thing. That's something I want to do. It's not racist.
They do a lot of stuff in Israel.
Yeah, but I want to ride camels.
You can ride camels in a lot of places, not just Israel. I'm sure there are camels in Israel being ridden all the time, but
and I haven't rode one.
You could ride a camel at the Southwick Zoo here.
Fuck that. I don't support zoos. But I support camel riding. Israel? That's hypocrite. I'm truthfully I'm not nearly well versed enough on Israel to even make a joke about it. I didn't know it was a problematic topic until right now.
Oh, is
it like the Holy Land, like fighting?
Listen, we're gonna not talk about it probably because we are both I've considered very staunch in our opinions, and I don't think we're going to change them,
I don't have an opinion on Israel.
You seem to, okay, interesting.
I don't have
not trying to
any knowledge to have an opinion. Expose it, dude. Like, say my opinion on Israel, because I don't even have enough knowledge on Israel to have an opinion on it.
It's not just Israel.
Well, then what else?
What have you talked about? Those countries over there.
What country? I first off don't even know where Israel is. So again, I can't talk about countries near it because I don't know what countries are near it.
You were like, Australia deserves the fire it's getting.
Okay, first off, I love Australia.
That's what you said. That's a
Second off,
legitimate quote. That's a legitimate quote.
I know
Check the Twitter
Australia.
feed.
I know Australia is not near Israel.
It's probably deleted now.
And I also am very anti-fire. You know that. You know that better than anybody.
Unless it's in the booth.
Unless it's in the booth. I keep my fires concealed and contained. I was actually a junior fire trooper when I was in elementary school.
You just just were so drawn to the flame.
No, what it was is, Smokey the Bear.
Yeah.
So he came to our school and did like a presentation on fire safety.
No, he didn't. I was a guy in a bear costume. Like,
yeah, okay, Liam, you weren't there, bud. You weren't there.
Okay, but you think a fucking bear, the one bear, whatever.
Smokey the Bear, yes, I know.
Sure,
I know.
Sure.
Yeah, I was amazed too. Had to see it. And definitely. So Smokey the Bear
had to be there.
Does a presentation on fire safety, and from that point on, I've been very anti-fires. Very anti-fire. Like, I'll even stand to say, I don't think anybody's house should burn down.
Mike Carmody, vote 2020.
Yeah, baby. Yo, to be truthful with you, we touched on this in our private conversations about how easy it's going to be to become president one day.
Yeah, especially considering, never mind. Keep those cards close to the chest.
Yeah, exactly. But the thing is, Trump didn't keep his cards.
We have
close.
A lot of natural resources. We control a lot of natural resources.
There is literally like clips of Trump saying if he were to run for president, he'd run as a Republican because it's easier to manipulate the Republican voters. Like, there's video of that. Like, I can say that right now and still become president 20 years from now, and they can like just blast that at everything. I'm like, whoa, man, that's fake news, fellas.
I think it's easy to manipulate both parties by the way they exist now.
I think it's easy to manipulate anybody who believes in anything. Would you affiliate yourself with a party?
I'm middle of the road. I see advantages to both. I would have considered myself libertarian, but fuck, dude, everything gets so attributed. I don't want this to be an alt-right podcast, okay? Like, if I say that, people...
Is
like,
libertarian an alt-right thing?
Some people attribute that shit to it, like, now, and it's like, because some people are like, oh, I'm small government, whatever, and then they hide other things in there, like, Israel's bad, like, that they'll be like, I live in small government and not Israel, like, they'll say stuff like that, and that's not me.
I'm a communist.
I know. I see that Nichols College banner.
I'm not a communist. I was thrown in, like I had said, I'm very easily swayed. So I read to the Communist Manifesto, and I was like, I'm pretty much a recency bias guy. Like, whatever I hear most recently is what I believe.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So I read the Communist Manifesto, and I was like, this makes the most sense right now.
Oh, yeah.
So I went through a pretty hardcore 3-day communist binge. I was protesting on the streets. I was
good,
saying like free healthcare for everybody. But that's not what communism is.
I'm into that. I'm into free healthcare.
I think there's like I said, man, there's truth in everything.
That's why I'm in the middle of the road guy. I play for both teams.
I feel you. I definitely swing both ways as well.
All the time. Love them.
But I don't mean
when I get up to bat, very rarely. So the are you serious, Mike? On air?
I've been doing it on air every episode.
That's cool.
Man, dude.
Listen, I think we should wrap this up for sure. I also think we'll talk after this actually about what I think. Also, I've been teasing something inadvertently since the first episode because I never got back to it, but this black box, $25 at CVS. I go there because I'm always picking up those antibiotics.
Fake AirPods?
What?
Those like fake AirPods.
These are fake AirPods. These are fake AirPods, yeah.
I thought you lost those.
Gentech, sponsor of the show. That's not true. They're getting this for free for now. They're great. They're fine. They're just good enough, just like AirPods. I'm sure the battery's not as good. It was $25.
AirPods are the best investment I've ever made in my life.
These are pretty rad. Not even gonna lie. Definitely worth trying at your local CVS when you lose those AirPods.
I haven't lost them yet.
Yeah. Mike, I'm gonna say one more thing. I have one more thing I want to say before we hit the road. I don't know if you want to get to any closing thoughts here. Do you?
I mean,
Mike? Are you good? You well and good?
I guess my one closing thought would be live, laugh, love.
So that's good stuff. I got a self-help thing of the week,
Ooh.
like some actual advice.
Because we are a self-help podcast.
The number one podcast on the internet that have me and you and I as the two hosts. It's the LA Times. Especially if you're a creatively inclined person, right? I've been reading. By that I mean I've been listening to audiobooks because that's what you do. It's just time you're not. It's hard to read. I read. Well, the thing is, we read all the time. We read all the time on phones. Like we're doing it all the time. We don't even realize. We don't think of it that way. But like you read probably more like as a whole.
Yeah, but you're not reading put
species.
Together thoughts. Like I'm reading 140 characters at a time.
Totally. That's true. I'm just talking about the practice of reading, right? We as a species have probably, I bet we've never been more literate because of phones. You know what I mean?
Yes and no. Yes and no, because we're also like deconstructing language on phones too.
Oh, besides the point, you're creating new lingo and language. That's a real thing.
Fair.
We don't acknowledge it the same way, but it's an advancement of culture in one way or another. My point is just you fucking read hella on phones. So like
hella.
I would like to I'll just read it. I'll listen to a book faster than I'll read it, right? This is how I do. Anyway, Stephen King on writing. One of the best books I've ever listened to in my entire life. Stephen King's one of the best fiction writers ever. He's also he's written a hell of a lot, so he's got some good words on it. It's just a good book. As the audiobook is read by him, that's always better when you get it really from the author. It's raw. It's good stuff. I recommend it.
What book, dude?
It's called Stephen King on Writing. That's literally what it's called.
Okay.
Hmm?
Yeah. When you said like, I was like, well, what did he write? Like, I was waiting to hear.
No, yeah, it's called On Writing. It's like
Is it like a book about how to write? Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
It talks
so
about
it's not like a Stephen King. It's not like a fiction novel.
Nope. He kind of goes into who he is as a person, like where he talks about stories from his youth, and you can it's a really interesting story. When he started writing, what he was writing about, when he started writing, it was kind of just like, he would take other stories and just like adapt them in a written form. And then he started to create his own thing. And then that's when it was just like, then he started falling into love with that. And it's really, really interesting. You get his whole life story. It's very honest. And there's a lot of wisdom to be taken from it. It's amazing. It's only 8 hours to listen to. It's only like 250 pages probably, I think. It's a short read, but it's awesome. So if you're looking to be a writer or something, I'd recommend that.
Should this week's Good Vibes playlist suggestions be audiobooks?
No.
So Liam's song of the week is the 8-hour entirety of Stephen King's On Writing. My suggestion this week is the Communist Manifesto.
No, you can't set me up like that.
I'm just kidding. No, we do have to close with that though. That is what we're here to do, is
for sure.
Build a playlist. That's the only reason this podcast exists, is because I want a cool playlist to listen to.
Indeed. Oh shit, Mike, you go first. I got some stuff here.
Dude, I was hoping you would go first.
I know. Okay, I got a pretty good rap song.
All right, what is it?
I like. Chance the Rapper. Favorite song featuring Childish Gambino.
Ooh, wow.
I like that song.
Bringing me back to the days, dude.
Acid rap. I believe Chance the Rapper says something about being a faggot slapper. That's a quote, not a word I used.
That is true. Now,
I don't know if you were to do that song live, if he'd still say that. I
don't know. There's a lot, but that's a lot of hip hop. Like that word was a very frequently used word in both comedy and hip hop. Like not even 2 years ago.
Stocking up
I'd
bundles
say
of
2 years
six.
ago was like when it stopped.
Yeah, no, it's just interesting. I just wanted to say that what our favorite part of the song was.
May I give my song?
Of course, Mike.
I'm gonna stick to throwbacks. I like that. I like that trend you just brought in with that. And I'm gonna do "Rocket Man" by Elton John.
Oh shit,
Yeah,
that's
dude,
a good song.
I smashed a bike ride earlier, like smashed it, like fucking killed it, dude. I was pacing like 3-minute miles. It was really incredible. Like my quads were on fire. But anyways,
I bet.
I'm like at the end of my bike ride, like first off, it's 13 miles. Like I'm really cooking this bike ride, you know.
Oh yeah.
And it's at the end, like probably at last half mile. All of a sudden, I hear Rocket Man come on, and I'm just like, whoa. Second gear, like chugging until the end because of that. So that's my good vibe song of the week.
Speaking of Rocket Man, Kim Jong-un.
Wow, that's awesome.
That's what you do.
That was awesome.
That's what you do. That's what I do.
Is he dead?
Soul's podcast is written. That's what he's called. You know, it's like he's not dead. Apparently, that was what I was going to say.
According to who?
According to I listen. I don't even know if he was ever real. For fuck's sake.
Fair. I've never.
I don't know if Australia is not. I know it's not Utah, but you know what I'm saying.
I've never been to North Korea.
That's official stance right here.
That's
would
my
you go?
Stance.
Kim Jong Un's like, yo, I need you to be a general.
I'd go.
Yeah. Yes.
Not to be a general, but because Dennis Rodman has gone, and Dennis Rodman is probably my biggest influence in life.
What if the three of you, sharing some Cubans, and you're like thinking about it, like, what does this mean? Are the Cubans aligned? Well, you're not thinking about it too much though, but you know, you're smoking the Cubans, and Kim Jong Un's like, it was an honor to have both of you here today. This is amazing. We are going to engage in an orgy now.
Me, Dennis
What's
Rodman,
your
and
reaction?
Kim Jong-un?
Yep. What's your reaction?
I'm assuming other people are involved in this orgy, or is it just us three?
Yeah, no, there's in the next room.
Okay, we're going into a room.
But you have no idea what's in that other room.
But it's an orgy.
According to Kim Jong-un.
Yeah, I'm going. I trust him.
No, that's not what I asked. That's not what I asked. What are you thinking? And you're like, what's your gut feeling? What's your guttural reaction?
To him asking if I want to be in an orgy?
Yeah.
I'm probably just saying, I'm not thinking anything. I'm saying yes. Like, I'm just like, yeah. I trust anyone who brings the potential of an orgy to me. I never say no.
Orgies is you're never getting asked by someone like you want to sleep with.
Maybe you're never getting asked by someone you want to sleep with. I've been in a couple orgies.
That's something someone else said. So.
Yeah, that's what I read.
I know I've never been invited to an orgy.
I
think was awesome. But
I've never been in an orgy either.
They happen in Yosemite all the time.
Yeah, I've been in a bunch, dude. I know.
Okay, well, I guess we'll leave it there. It's been Good Vibes Live, episode 3. Yep, no real outro here. We're just gonna end it here. Mike, it's been good. It's been a great one. Probably the longest. Peace.
Definitely, it feels like it.